Three, two, one. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this special Papo de Teacher. I'm Teacher Fabi Montanari, and I'm here today to talk to you about English for real communication in business scenarios. So, this is a new moment for us to be together live because every Monday, 6:30 p.m., we're going to have a special class in order to help you improve your communication skills for you to speak English without barriers, especially in business scenarios. So I decided to start this weekly live classes here because I know that not speaking English might be a real problem in your life. Sometimes people who speak are not really aware of how much difference it makes in your life. The topic today is related to my experience that I had a few days ago. Most of you, or some of you, might have seen that I had a trip to the United States. I participated in a training lesson, and we are live both on YouTube and Instagram. If you can hear me well, just say yes. If you have problems to understand me, just let me know, okay? If you cannot hear me really well. But the situation is, I went to the United States, and it was pretty easy for me to be there. It wasn't really something that made me desperate because of the language. But I know that for some of you, it might be a real problem. It might be a real nightmare if you have to face a situation like that. And how many opportunities, uh, both professional and personally opportunities, you miss or you let go in your life because of that? How many times you have lost the possibility to participate in an event, in a talk, to sit in a table and have a discussion with people in a way that it would help you learn and improve your networking. And then I've been teaching for 27 years, okay? 27, almost 28 years. By the end of this year, I will be teaching for 28 years. And it's funny because nowadays I have some teachers working with me in the team, and they're not 20 years old, but I've been teaching for 28 years. And I said, "Oh my God, how old are you?" Oh, and one of them said, "I'm 22." I said, "Oh my God, you are 22. I've been teaching. Uh, uh, I had been teaching for 6 years when you were born." And it's a life teaching. But in the end, I have followed and I have participated in many phases of teaching English. Since from the moment that teaching English was really related to books. So I remember when people come to me and used to say, "How many books do I have to finish in order to speak English? How many books do I have to, how many books are there in your course for me to finish my English course?" So from that moment, how many books to real communication in English? There is a difference. And in fact, there has always have been this difference. Because how many of you have studied English for many times and you still have problems to speak English? How many of you have had problems? And I have lost lost count of how many people in my situation I have helped in the situation. So what I usually say, speaking English is not about completing books. It's not about doing homework, even though I love using books for myself. I love using exercises, extra exercise that I have for homework, and I think that helps a lot. But this is not the only things. The chances are that if you focus your study plan on this only, you won't advance a lot. So when I arrived in the United States, what were the first situations I had to face? The immigration process. Okay, so I was there talking to the agent, the immigration agent, uh, what I was doing there, and how many days I would stay in the United States. And I entered. My flight was from Sao Paulo to New York. And of course, even though I spoke English and he asked me a few questions, I could answer the guy all the questions. Immigration is always like something challenging. I don't know about you. I had never problem. I have never had problems in the immigration in the United States. I have been there for a few times already. I have never had problems, but yet it's a situation that I'm not really relaxed until the moment they give me my passport back and say, welcome to the US. And until that moment, I still wait and say, oh my God, please help me. Yes. Until I have my passport back and I hear from the guy or the woman say, welcome to the US. And this is something like that I panic sometimes. But okay. So, and then later I had to get an Uber to go to the hotel. And in the Uber, it's nice because some Uber drivers, even in New York, they are like they want you to interact, and it's okay for us to talk, even especially the same way it is in Brazil. So we had some conversations. It is nice. I like to test to talk to them, and then in the hotel, I had to ask for an early check-in because I arrived in New York in the morning, and my check-in was would be available only after 3 p.m. It's normal, but I had to ask, is it possible for me to get the room earlier? And then I had to negotiate that. And then we went to the rides and walk around the city, ask for information, go to the attractions in New York. So all of that are part of your real communication. And even though we can foresee some of these situations, and we can, for example, oh, English for in the airport. What's the vocabulary I get to use in the airport? We can have special classes on that. Only the real life will show you how far you can go with your speaking or how stuck you are in your speaking. So it depends only on you. And the situation is that the difference is English by the book, everything is perfect. The scenario is here and nothing different will happen. The real life, you have to consider not only your linguistic skill, but also your level of stress. What is taking you to the situation there? Is it for fun? Is it for business? Are you on vacation? Are you going to have a presentation, participate in a course? Are you there forced? You didn't want to go. So all of these can cause you some stress. You can be tired because the days we are tired, our speaking is different, even for me. Sometimes in Portuguese, we feel tired. We are not really in the mood of speaking English. And it happens in English as our second language or as a foreign language. Because when you start studying a foreign language, you don't need to be a native speaker. And this is a point I'm going to get to you. And I was talking to some Brazilians there. They live and work there for many years already. And this is a point that they pointed out to me. I talked to them about this, okay? So that's it. When we are, for example, I traveled overnight. I didn't sleep well. When I arrived there, I had to speak English. But sometimes You are tired. You are not in a good English day. It happens, okay? And don't push too hard on you. You don't need to speak as a native person would speak. You can speak the way you would speak, with all the benefits and all the like poor structures that you're going to use. But in the end, if you could ask for help, or if you could answer something, it means that you are uh, on the way, on the on the right path. Okay, so consider that. This is really important for you to consider in your speaking process, real speaking process, real communication process in business scenarios. And business scenarios, they can be really different, totally different. It can be a meeting with your boss, or a meeting with a supplier or a customer. It can be like this kind, a negotiation, but it can also be like the way I was in a training. I was participating in an event to be trained. I was learning some things. And so I didn't have to present anything. I was like a listener, but in the breaks from one lecture to another, I was able to talk to people, interact with people. Some of them were Brazilians, but some weren't. And I was talking to them. And you know what I asked them? One of these Americans that I talked to, that was participating in the event, said, what do you consider the most important point, considering that you work with Brazilians? What is the main thing that you think is important, or what is your main difficulty? And she told me, sometimes I'm not sure that they really understood the whole message. Sometimes I need to check with another Brazilian, a more fluent Brazilian, if all the team understood the message, because she was there organizing the event. She was American with some Brazilians, and she was there organizing it. And this is what she said: I just want to make sure. And one of the guys that was more fluent, like a fluent speaker, Brazilian, he was like translating things for the rest of the people, and then to make sure everybody understood the message. And she was trying to learn Portuguese as well. But she said, okay, I have problems to understand that. And if you follow me here for a longer time, you know that I always talk about the story of I always talk about the reference, the phonetics reference, because once we don't know the reference of the English language, because you probably have never been taught. If you don't know it, you are going to use your own reference from your own language, which is Brazilian Portuguese. And what happens in this case? The other way round happens. As a speaker, as a native speaker of American English, she was trying. I don't know why, but people that work with her were trying to help to teach her the word tartaruga. And she was trying to reproduce that. And it was something like tartaruga, or something like that. And of course, it was obvious that she was using the reference she had from the language she speaks fluently, which is English, American English. And you see that this is a point that Brazilian people that work there, they told me, said, Fabi, I don't know why, but Brazilian, they are like ashamed of their own language, and they try to speak as a native speaker. If they can't speak as a native, some people prefer not to speak. And why is that? So, and when you do that, you lose many opportunities to make friends, to have a new networking, and to have new job opportunities. I was talking to this girl there. She lives there. She works in IT area for an American company. She has been living in the United States for many years now. And she said, Fabi, I know many Brazilians here that unfortunately they are like only living in the Brazilian community, talking to Brazilian people outside the country, and they do not interact with America or people from outside this bubble, outside from outside this community. And I said, oh my God, I couldn't see that things that way because I've been teaching English for people who want to speak English. And in that situation, uh, she said, Fabi, it's sad because these people uh, came to America to have a better life quality because in Brazil they didn't have. So they start their life, they restarted their lives here in America. But because of their English, because they feel humiliated about their lack of linguistic competence, they prefer not to speak at all. I said, oh my God, we need to help these people. It doesn't make sense. Logically, it doesn't make sense. In real life, these people might have suffered so much and that they decided not to try, or they don't know they can try that. But my recommendation as a teacher, what can I say if I talk to a person like this, and or if you are a person like that? It doesn't matter if you are already in the United States or if you are living in Brazil and want to have a better job opportunity. Don't worry about the mistakes you make. Just make sure you're doing your best. And for these, you can have some questions like that. For example, can you repeat that, please? Can you say it again? Can you help me? Or, I'm sorry, I'm still learning English. I'm not sure I got it. I'm not sure I got it. I got it. I'm not sure I understood what you said. So when you say that, most of the times, I'm not going to say that all the times because I don't know all the people, but most of the times people will help you. They will tend they will tend to help you. I know this because I had a funny situation many years ago. I went to France 2 times in my life, twice. First time was in 1998 during the World Cup in France. And I couldn't speak any French. I was studying in England, and in the group at the school I was, there was going to be an excursion for the weekend in Paris. So off I went to Paris for one weekend, an excursion of Brazilian students in Paris during the finals of the World Cup, Brazil and France, and Brazil lost it. And I was trying to buy 2 Cokes for me and my friend. And the only things I knew in French was the numbers. I knew how to count up to 10 in French. And then I remember I asked de Coca-Cola, s'il vous plaît. And then I wanted to pay. And then I had no idea how to say, how much is it in English, in French? And then I said, in English, how much is it? Because everybody speaks English in the world, yes? Yes, they do, but not everybody will help you with that. And then I said, how much is that? And the guy who was serving me, he pretended he didn't understand. And then I said, how much is that? De Coca-Cola? How much? And I had the money in my hand. And then he brought 2 other Cokes. I had 4 Cokes in front of me. I said, no, I don't want 4. I said, no. 2, de moi, de toi. It's not the best way to communicate, but it's the possible thing to do it in that moment. And it might happen that for you too. Don't worry about that, okay? But then in that situation, I said, okay, quanto é? I said, who knows if quanto é similar to French, and then he gets the idea. After a while, there was a French guy. I think he was making fun of me. I probably he understood that I was doing my best to communicate, and then he talked in French to the other guy, and the guy told me 20 francs, and it was 20 francs before euros, and then I paid, and I was really upset with that situation. And I know if you feel upset with a miscommunication in English, that's okay. We can feel upset. Okay. Next time I went to France was 8 years later. I was on my honeymoon, and I decided not to be in the same situation again. I said, okay, nobody's going to make the fool out of me, and I want at least to be minimally prepared for this. So I started taking some French classes, and I prepared myself to say one sentence that saved my life in France. Pardon, je ne parle pas français. Très bien. Est-ce que vous parlez portugais ou anglais, s'il vous plaît? That's it. I don't know about my pronunciation. If any of you speak French, that's it. It was the best I could do. So, excuse me, excuse me, I don't speak French very well. Can you help me in English or Portuguese, please? So for everybody I needed to interact, I used the sentence. And you know what happened? Everybody tried to help me. Everybody. There wasn't anyone that I had to talk to in my walking arounds in Paris that didn't help me. Everybody helped me. So what I mean by this is that you can be in a difficult situation, but if you have some key sentences, especially this one, I'm sorry, I'm still learning English. I don't speak English very well yet, because yet means you are improving. I don't speak English very well yet. Can you help me in Portuguese, or can you speak slowly, please? How much? What do you think people are going to tell you? Do you think they're really going to refuse to help you when you say that? I don't believe people will refuse. And if they refuse, okay, just go for another person. But basically, they will help you with that. And some people say, oh, you don't have to say sorry for my English. And I agree. It's not a problem that you speak. You don't have to apologize for not speaking English. But when I say, I'm sorry, I'm still learning English, you're not apologizing. In my view, you're just being polite and starting a conversation in a polite way, because being polite helps a lot. I have a class, one of the classes in my course for business purpose. I tell about how to be polite in meetings or negotiations in English. People don't know that. People usually don't think about that. They just think about using the right grammar, putting the words in the right order, and it's okay if you're trying to do that. But also, you need to be polite, because we tend to be more open and more willing to have a negotiation with a polite person. We are more willing to find a common ground in a negotiation with a polite person, in a polite environment. Yes? I don't know about you, but if people are polite to me, I try to do my best to. It makes a huge difference in your results. And that's it. What do you want in the end? What do you want in the end? You want to have a result. It doesn't matter if it's in your job, in your event, in your job interview, in a talk with a friend. If you're going to a business lunch and you are having like an informal conversation that might open doors for a bigger opportunity for you, You have to consider all of that. At the end of the day, you are looking for results. Okay? You are looking for results. And if your English is not really well yet, what do you have to do? You need to have an effective study plan, and you have to be in movement. You cannot be like, oh, my English is not good, so I'm not going to apply for that job position. I'm not going to apply for that because my English is not good. What if you have these, but then you have someone to help you? Teacher, I have applied for a new job position or for a promotion in my job. Now I need to be prepared. What if you have this kind of support? Would you feel more secure about that? Would you go for the meeting or for the job interview in a better way? So, like, keep yourself in movement, in the right movement, in the right direction, not like moving around like a freaky dog, just in the right direction. Which result do you want to have? I have always organized my life and prioritized things if they are aligned to the results I want to have. So I don't want you to think. Some people come to me, and now I have a new microphone because I went to the United States and I got this microphone now. Beautiful, a gamer. My kids said, "Mom, you have a gamer microphone." I said, "No, it's a teacher's microphone." Even though in the box it's written, "We are all gamers." In the box is written, "We are all gamers." No, no, I'm a teacher. I don't play games. I don't like play games. I have no problem with if you like playing games, but I'm a teacher. Recording classes for YouTube and Instagram, but okay, I'm not a gamer. But some people sometimes and especially people who knew me before this life of creating content online, and they say, "Fabi, your videos are so nice." I really don't know if they are nice or not. I would like to hear from you. What do you think? Are the videos nice? Are the classes okay? What I know, I'm doing my best. Was it easy for me to be here? No. If you think it was easy from the very beginning, the very first beginning, it wasn't. I usually tell closer people said going online for me was like learning to speak a new language. And I understand if when my students say, "Fabi, teacher, I have a problem." Sometimes I don't feel secure. I want to cry if I have like a stressing situation. And me too. Sometimes when I heard, okay, you have to record videos for your YouTube channel or for your Instagram channel, I said, okay, let's do it. Easy? No, never. Is it easy for me nowadays? No, it's easier, but not easy at all. But what am I looking for? I'm looking for the results. Which results? I know that if I use my voice here, and this is I'm this is being proved real and really effective, I can help more people. One day I was asked about mission. If people talking like this philosophical talks with a student who was a therapist. And I said, okay, I don't know if people really have missions in life, but if people have, I'm sure my mission is to help people become independent speakers of English. I'm not really sure, but this is my mission. I wake up every day thinking of new possibilities to help my students. And don't think it's easy, but I'm looking for the results I can have. So I needed to learn this in order to be here. And if English is still being like a stone on your way, you need to remove that. And how do you remove that? Walking towards the results you want to have, not being stopped. And sometimes students tell me, "Oh, teacher, this is difficult." I said, yes, it might be difficult. Easy is to sit. The easiest thing is to sit on your couch and watch Netflix. This is easy. But is this going to bring the result you want? Probably not. But easy is that. Sitting on the couch, watching Netflix, having a pizza, wine, or whatever you want. But think about that. Think about the result. And think about the result you don't have yet because your English is not really good yet. And some of you might be here just to listen to English, but some of you might be here looking for a solution. And private classes, private support, and everything like that. So if you are looking for that, I have some news for you. I will have now we are live now for 30 minutes and I have to end this talk now. But if you're looking for a complete solution for your learning process, for you to become really competent in speaking English, just go to the link in bio or here in this on the YouTube channel. Make sure you register there, and you are going to receive some information in a few days. I will bring that to you. Just make sure once you register there, you are going to be noticed every time you have live classes. Next Monday, we have a new live class. And if you have a specific topic you would like me to talk about, you can come to me and you can say, teacher, I would love to hear you talking about this. I will help you with that, okay? And that's it, people. Do you have any questions? I don't know if you had questions here on YouTube. Even if it's necessary to talk like Joe Santana, talk. Don't be afraid about it. That's it. That's it, Silvio. The important thing is for you to communicate. And it's really good. All right, people. So that's it. It was great to be here with you. And I'll see you soon again. Okay? Bye, everyone.